When we said that the National Democratic Congress appeared not to have anything to go to the court and that they probably perhaps wasted the court's time, we really actually knew what we were talking about. Today, the evidence has come. Now, we've isolated the part that Asiedu Nketia makes that unflinching confession that in attending the Supreme Court to be a principal witness for the National Democratic Congress, he knew, he was aware that he didn't have anything. But he went to the court in brevity of sorts, wasting the taxpayers' money, as it were. He's confessing to that now. Something that happened in January 2021, it is. He's confessing to that now. But given the outlook of the court, we were always aware that the key witness of the National Democratic Congress, from the way Johnson Asiedu Nketia, ordinarily a very intelligent man, I have to say. I always say that Asiedu Nketia is a very intelligent man. Now, for an intelligent man to sit in court and sort of get embarrassed in the way that Asiedu Nketia was embarrassed, it tells that he really didn't have anything. Either that his preparation was porous, or that part of the tape you've just watched, he confessing that walking into court in 2021, I actually had nothing. This is what he said.
Say me ko jina daka mo. Mon fa results mra na me fa nkwa. Results wa mo de ma me no. Be say udi jina daka mba bia say hwe ye penipa o nim de wo electoral processes ma. Ma ni first ya me di second. Sure. Na me ko defend the figures be a any defensible there. Me mfasa ni ngwase no nkoso a. Anu ti ne ko court a o mo bi say me results wo here am ka say fa results ya. Say no dey mo ti. Me nim draw into. Connection nti dey me ye ni say. Say me ye chama.
He said, "We could not courts no. No mumfa bibimbra. No mo de ba me de kwa me nimbe gu ase nti manfa anko." He said the figures that they showed him, if he had presented those figures to court, he would have been completely embarrassed. And that's why I said he's an intelligent man. So he did the analysis, he saw it. So this is the kind of deception that he took us through in 2021. Johnson Asiedu Nketia deceived the whole country, deceived all people who were serious, who were interested in the outcome of 2020, to be sure that nothing untoward had happened, who were focused on the court. Ghana Television spent taxpayers' money to show the court processes every day. All media houses deployed people there to show the court processes every day because it was an important part of our democracy. Election is the citadel of democracy. That's how it happens. And so the consequence of election is the most important aspect of democracy. So everyone was interested. State resources were deployed. It turns out that Johnson Asiedu Nketia was wasting our time. He knew when he was going into the court that he had nothing. I mean, can you imagine that the guy was aware that going into the court, he had nothing. He and the NDC, today he's blaming Ofosuampo for it. That's an internal matter. I don't know whether you can blame him or not. That's up to them. But the thing he did, what he's confessing to, which he says in the tape, which you heard, he shouldn't be divulging these things, is that by the time he was walking into the Supreme Court in January 2021, Asiedu Nketia was aware that he had nothing. He had absolutely nothing. And instead of telling the court that we really don't have anything, we'll come back and do our work next time, they spent the taxpayers' money, wasted it, wasted Ghanaian people's time, going to a court in that they had nothing. I'd like you to hear the confession again. I deemed this a confession because it is a confession. Johnson Asiedu Nketia is telling us that when he went to the court, he actually had nothing. Listen to it again. I'd like you to hear the isolated version again. Here it is.
There are times so say me ko jina daka mo.
That mean could defend here court, near defend figures, need be defensible. That's what he's saying. This is the kind of person you are dealing with as a political leader, viewers. This is the kind of person you are dealing. The guy goes to court knowing that he's holding nothing. It's all about himself. And he said that in this country, when they're talking of understanding of electoral processes, if he's not first, he'll be second. I think he'll be first. I have to accept that. Johnson Asiedu Nketia will be first. He's the longest general secretary in the world. The longest serving general secretary of any political party in the world. So if Asiedu Nketia says that he understands electoral processes better than many of us, I agree with that. He does. He will be first. He won't be second. And he knows it. He says he will be first or second. He will be first. Now, because he knows the electoral processes, he was aware that the NDC didn't have anything to mount a reasonable. However, he led the NDC into court and misled the entire Ghanaian population to say that there could have been something wrong with the election, and therefore let's go to court and file an election petition. You heard what he said, the lawyer said. Mr. Chikata told them that the thing that they've brought is hogwash. The only thing they can do is to go to court and hope that they can interrogate Jean Mensah in a way that will bring out something. But Asiedu Nketia knew that there was nothing. Okay, I leave it here. On Saturday, he's running for general chairman of the party with Ofosu Ampofu. We'll come to that later on and deal with all of that. Okay, that's Johnson Asiedu Nketia. I think that we are by and large done with it. Let's get back to the Congress. The Congress event on Saturday. There was quite a bit of violence in the room. So it is widely reported that President John Dramani Mahama and his forces have sent people to Cape Coast to go and support Buja Jemfi. That's the allegation that has been widely published. Tonight, we're going to show you in the next few minutes the violence videos that occurred, the statement issued by John Dramani Mahama, the statement that had been made by Pablo Opariado on Asempa FM earlier today, the unreconciliatory statement that had been issued by Buja Jemfi earlier today, and then this evening, the Facebook post of Sami Jemfi about Proverbs, and also the Facebook post of Sam George. That's what we're going to do in the next 15 minutes. The violence, John Mahama's statement, videos of what Pablo told Asempa FM, Buja Jemfi's statement, which he issued earlier this morning, Sami Jemfi's post, which had come in about after 6 o'clock, most likely responding to the Pablo interview on Asempa, and then Sam George's post that also came. Sam George's post was read to Buja on Asempa, was read to Pablo on Asempa, and he responded. We'll show you that video. Let's begin now, very quickly, before we go to our big entertainment story. I have to alert you, we have George Quay. Some of you call him Abuaji. I call him Abuaji. To George Quay, and guess who? Ame Aldebra. They're in the studio. They're going to share with us what happened on Saturday night. Where was Wizkid? Okay, that's coming up tonight, but let's get back onto the politics. So we begin the next line of items on the violence video. A bit of violence in Cape Coast. Why was there violence? Because there was violence of a voters register. Why should it be violence? I don't know. I'm not sure why political parties cannot come to a certain conclusion where the voters register is sacrosanct and is known by all. There should be an app that's sitting here in Metro TV as a news reporter. I can punch the NDC voters register and I can have it. MPP voters register, I have it. If Paul Adom Otchere is in for Kwamo constituency, he should be there. If a person is a constituency chairman from Gary Timpani, why does he arrive at the event venue and they say his name is not in the register? All of those things must stop in our politics. Somebody's name is in, somebody's name is not in. Let people go to the contest and win or lose. Let people stop the machinations. It's derailing our politics, and it's allowing very bad people to find space in our politics. Bad people should not find space in our politics. People who want to compete on ideas should find space in our politics, not bad people. The way we do our politics, we can have a lot of rogue behavior in politics because a voters register is sacrosanct. Constituency chairmen have been elected. If all constituency chairmen are on the register, they shouldn't show up at the Accra Sports Stadium. Somebody's constituency chairman at Memphis West, he comes, they said, Ogbe Ebemi, Udinim. What's that? Why does that happen in our politics all the time? This must stop. And this accounted for the violence in Cape Coast because there was confusion about the register. Why should TANE, the Tertiary Education Executive people of the National Democratic Congress, is like Rotary's Road Tract, the younger NDC if you like. And this is the election for the youth organizer and the women's organizer. Why should TANE not be in? You can't understand these things. At the MPP Congress in Kumasi, there was a lot of issues about Tescon wanting to vote for Wontumi, and of 62 names, 42 were approved. All that. So let's have a better political system. And I hope that the Electoral Commission is listening. Get the political parties to fix their register.